Good afternoon, YouTube. We're up here at the Grizzly Flat Trail junction on the Canyon Trail. And yeah, today I was planning on heading up Grizzly Flat, but it was quite a bit warmer than it has been. By the time I got up here, I was feeling the heat. It was about 100 Fahrenheit coming past the Stevens Creek Dam and Reservoir, and it's still mid to upper 80s up here. So instead, I might head up this way just a little bit. There's a really steep climb and a sharp corner up here. And just beyond that, the hillshade map shows a faint little road going down to the left off of the main road. So I might see if I can get up that far and just take a look at it, see if I can find it. I don't have the hillshade map with me up here, since I didn't plan on coming up this way, but I figure I can at least see if I see the road. I think I know where it is. Okay, this is a little farther up the canyon trail. There's a little bypass up here behind me. There's one of these sag pond areas that on really wet years, there's a pretty good sized puddle over there. And so the trail comes out here around the outside so you don't have to go through the mud. According to the hillshade map, someplace down in this grassy area, probably down near the bottom, is that old road, and it goes up the canyon, kind of staying down low. It's going down towards the creek. I think it's Goldmine Creek that comes down, and the trail, that old road, goes up to about where Goldmine Creek comes in, and then it turns up, and it looks like there's an old structure, maybe a foundation up there. This is where that would be. So it's probably down there someplace, but that would definitely be one to do in the winter. Wait till the grass dies down and so you can see the ground, because otherwise you could be walking on a trail and not even notice it, because this grass is like waist high. I'll go back down the canyon trail and I think I see where the road starts. Okay, yeah, that's that really steep corner around the corner there. That's where that turnout is. And I think right in here is probably where that old road takes off. You can see down here, there's a kind of a level bench. And as you walk up the modern road, you can see that bench for a ways until it disappears. But yeah, this is definitely a winter or early spring trip. There's a lot of brush down there, so you got to wait till all that stuff dies back. And then I need a good hillshade map of this area so I can follow that, because through that meadow it looks pretty faint, like I can't see the road. But I think right in here is where it starts. They might have even tried to block it off here, you know, dumped a bunch of trees down there. But you can see right in here, there's the road bed, and then they've got a bunch of down trees they pushed over the edge there. This one's pretty faint. I think it's doable. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye on this one, wait till the brush clears out this winter and get the grass to die down, and then I need to make myself a good hillshade map of this area. But yeah, anyway, that's where this road is, and that looks like it goes to an interesting looking, I don't know if it's a foundation or a building of some sort. So we'll have to go up and take a look. Let's take a look at this area here on Google Maps. So this is kind of an interesting area here. There's a geocache up here that I finally found. Let's see, and then this is where what's called Goldmine Creek comes down here, and I think it comes over here and into Stevens Creek. And this is that whole grassy area that I was looking down on. This is where that little bypass trail comes out here, and you can look down in this area anyway. Right here, that point is the 1838 earthquake epicenter, and that's one reason I'm kind of interested in this old road along here, because that epicenter is just up the side of the canyon from where that old road runs down here. Yes, if we zoom in a bit, you can start to see little traces of that road. This image was taken when the grass was down. So probably, I don't know, late fall, early spring, because you can see a lot of game trails on the ground there. And I believe this is a trace of the old road down here, and then also right along here. But if you switch over to the 3D mode, let's see if we can spin around so we're actually looking down the canyon here. Here's the canyon trail, and here's where that sharp corner is. And I believe this is where the old road comes down here. There's kind of a clearing through the trees, but I think it comes down through here and then down along the bottom of that meadow and then along here, and then it turns up here. This is where Gold Mine Creek is. And then someplace around here on the hillshade map, there's some sort of feature. I don't know if it's just a rock formation, maybe that. So that would be interesting just to see what that thing is. But the other reason I'd like to get down there is here's the creek down here, and I'd like to see if there's a way to get from this road down to the creek. You've got that 1838 epicenter right up here on top of this ridge. So that would be one interesting thing, is to be able to see if there's a path up this side of the canyon to get to that point. The other reason I'd want to get down here is I would like to hike this section of the canyon here. If you look here, I've done all of this section of the canyon here. I've hiked from way before the map here all the way up to here, and the one section I haven't done yet is up here. I'm trying to find a way to get into the creek down here. It's very rough by the Grizzly Flat Trail crossing, but if I can get in there, it would be neat to hike up this stretch of the creek channel, because from the trail up here you can't see down to the creek. It's way down below the trail. If we zoom in a bit, I'm not sure if this is just an artifact of the map, but there looks like a really steep cut where the creek goes through, but that looks really spectacular. But anyway, that would be neat if I could come up here and then get out of the canyon at this point instead of having to hike all the way back down. So yeah, anyway, there's some really neat stuff in this area, and you can see how this terrain here is very rugged. And then you can see here there's a real ridge that formed, and then the fault pretty much runs up the creek here, and then I think it also runs up where the canyon trail is, because this is where they did the dig probably about 8 years ago. They did a geologic dig here to look at paleoseismology and whatnot. The reason they did that was that one branch of the fault runs through this area, and they could drive down the canyon trail with a backhoe and do their dig. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that. Yeah, we'll jump back to the live video. Stay tuned. We'll probably be going up there at some point. And as always, thanks for watching.